Hey, it's me, unapologetically T, and yeah, today had to make myself get up. So literally, and it's weird because I was up early this morning, and I was supposed to do something, but some things came up, and I probably ended up falling to sleep around probably like 9 o'clock since I didn't have that thing to do anymore. So and I probably woke up this morning probably about like 2 or 3 ish, which that's just how shit be for me. I'm just learning to roll with it. Like I'm learning to roll with the circadian rhythms when they present themselves. I don't like it. I would prefer to rise up with the sun, but sometimes shit have me up at night, you know, and up with the sun. So like literally some days is like I'm up all night and I'm watching the sunrise. So it just all depends on what's going on. So I'm learning to embrace that and not shame myself about that though. Like I used to really feel inadequate because my sleep cycle would be different from other people's. And that comes with like not comparing myself. So I talk about comparison, and we compare ourselves in so many different ways. You really have to be self-aware of where you are leaky. And when I say leaky, like where you are leaking your energy, wasting your energy and time, beating yourself up, or because there's some people that don't internalize this stuff and they beat on other people. So like literally, if that's your MO, like cut the shit, focus on yourself, and heal yourself. If your MO is beating on yourself, that's even wrong too. Like that's just as wrong. Literally, we gotta stop normalizing that one is better than the other. I think one is considered better than the other because you're not hurting other people, but you're damn sure doing damage to yourself. So literally, and you gotta undo it, and you gotta heal it, you gotta unlearn it. So yeah, that was a big one that I'm working on, like my sleep cycle, and it has nothing to do with humans' ideology of what's enough sleep, what's rest. Like my sleep can be all over the place. So I'm learning to honor my body, listen to my body. It was one day where I slept. When I say I slept all fucking day, like it was like I had binged doing some drugs, and no, I have never done that, but I have watched people do that shit. It was like watching a coke addict or something, or somebody on Molly or X or something, like literally be on a binger and crash. And it was just like, but I wasn't on the binger. And it's just like, but you don't know what you on a binger of. We just focus solely on drugs that we don't realize where we put our energy into. And so I'm learning that, like, I have to honor my body. I don't know all the time where I spent my energy, or how I spent my energy. So like literally that one just came aware to me, like how did I spend my energy? So like literally I'm learning to honor my body. If my body says it wants to rest all day and I have that opportunity, literally that's what we're gonna do. And I used to be ashamed of that. I used to beat myself up that, and it puts you in a deeper hole and a deeper deficit. So I'm learning. I'm not perfect at none of this shit. I never will be. I will only find the balance that is ideal for me in my life. And I think that's what we all need to realize. It is not about reaching perfection. It is about us finding that balance that works for us. That's why we're not meant to judge people in the sense of condemning them for how they live their lives. We can judge and see that like maybe this is not aligned with me, but to judge on a premise of for basic minor things, and like that even gives us like, well, what do we consider that? I typically like to think if it's not hurting me or hurting anybody else, like it's really not much of my business. I can think it's odd, I can think it's not, you know, what I deem, you know, regular, like, but other than that, like, it's really not my place. So if it don't benefit me, it's really no need for me to really know about that. Now, if you hurting yourself or somebody else, like, I might give you a diabolical side eye. If you hurting, you know, me, nigga, I'm gonna go in. Like, whether I verbalize that shit or whether I take it to God or the spirits, like, like literally. So it's levels to this shit, and that's what literally we all gotta learn. It is levels, and hey, if you want to stay at the surface, stay at the surface. Like, stay at the surface. But baby, I'm in it to win it. And I ain't even talking about against nobody else. I'm just in it to like win it for myself. And so literally, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I had to pray. I have been doing a lot of self-love, like focused work. And I had to pray, but I've been in deep meditation, coming back into myself. I have a piece that I do need to put out. It is more of a excerpt reading. It is not one of those fun poems. It is a reading of my soul's journey of self-love, and how self-love has layers and levels and dimensions. And my goal right now is to take all those multifaceted, multi-dimensional concepts and learn them so well and embody them. Not just learn, but embody them. So that will be my actions. That's how I'll show up. And it's not a performance. It will be really me not thinking. This is just who I am. And so a lot of my spiritual work is that I don't want to have to do things every day for the rest of my life out of mindless repetition. I want it to be a natural, normal thing for me. It'll be my baseline, my norm. And it takes a lot of hard work to get that. It takes a lot of rewiring, reprogramming, deprogramming, and consistency and showing up for yourself. I feel like if you are relearning your divine feminine energy, this stuff does not have to happen by brute force. I sound like a real country person. Force, excuse me. And there's nothing wrong with sounding like country. Our ancestors literally talked the way they talked because they were not taught properly how to speak. So I actually give them fucking credit for being highly intelligent and trying to hear and understand by hearing. So a lot of their words are formulated from hearing and not always seeing and being properly pronunciated. And you gotta understand that they learned a lot of their English from the people the white people that they were around. So that also lets you know that there were a lot of, so they say, uneducated white people talking around them too. So like literally, because if it's auditory, they heard it from someone else also. But we do have sound bites and auditory that sounds different, or like tomato, like it sounds different to other people. So like literally, like you can do a lot of different stuff. So I don't know, I do that little segue, but it's just the way my synapses be snapping. So but yeah, like if you are relearning or healing or tapping back into your feminine energy, it doesn't happen by brute force. One of the most beautiful freaking things that I have to thank God for, and my lips is dry, that I have to thank God for real, is, which way do I want to go? Do I want to take the back roads, or do I want to take the easier roads? I think I'm gonna go. I'll go this way. I probably get to see more. I'm gonna let the car go back. Alright, so yeah, that's one of the things I want to thank God for. Like, am I perfect at feminine energy? No. Am I learning how to embody, how to best, how to utilize to my best advantage my feminine energy? Yes. It is a process, and I'm just now realizing a lot of times when I was telling you like my body needs to rest, a lot of my spiritual work is done when I sleep. And that's one of the things, like, I realize with narcissistic abuse, they don't like when you sleep. they don't like when you sleep, when you don't get your rest. Like, your mind is not right. Your mind is not right. That is a actual fucking like war tactic for when they have prisoners of war. Like, they won't let you sleep. They keep your mind fucked up. And I have been so sleep deprived my whole entire fucking life. So I'm probably catching up on rest from all these years of being in go mode and being in that energy that I have to make moves, like physically. Like, I physically have to make these moves. And I thank God. Like, thank you, God. Thank you. I was resistant. I was kicking and screaming, and now it is clicking, starting to click to me. Like, literally, this is a blessing. And but it's hard, right? It's hard, and that's why I've been my self-love. It's been loving myself compassionately. So giving myself grace and mercy and understanding and compassion that I would give other people. And I literally, it was hard. It was hard to sit down and sit with myself. Not with the TV. I still struggle. I ain't gonna hold you. I still struggle. I'm doing better at the moment, but I'll have my moments where you go 2 steps forward and then some other steps backwards. And so literally, you know, we're getting there. It's a process, and I trust it. I look, it's some things have happened to me throughout my whole entire life, but like these last 2 years have been extremely freaking magical and miraculous. Like, when I say that, I have moments where I break down and cry, because it's like, Lord, God, you really did that. You really did that. You really, even the situations that I felt like was, what in the fuck? Like, literally. Some of it makes sense now. Some of it won't make sense until maybe years later. Like, and I'm okay with that. But like, literally, me being able to be in this feminine energy, when I sleep, I'm working. I'm working. I'm not always sleeping, and I had to learn that. Spiritually, like, our souls, our spirits travel. And a couple of years ago, I was scared to talk about this shit, because like, I didn't have people that literally was on my same wavelength. Now it's not even just confidence. It's like, I feel like I know what I know for me. And if it's not for you, that's not where you at in life. And that's not your level of consciousness or understanding. And that's okay. But for me, our souls travel. Like, there are times where I go to sleep and I'm not rested. And it's because I've probably been doing some shit in my dreams or in the dream realms, the spiritual realms, that literally, that has, like, I've been exerting energy. And when you exert your energy, when you make deals, when you deal with certain people who like to siphon energy, like that can drain you. So you have to have like a great spiritual hygiene. And I have been building a foundation, and I say we, like me and God, literally, and my spiritual squad, like literally have been helping me build a foundation to practice this spiritual hygiene, because I definitely allowed a lot of things to have access to me that probably shouldn't have, and probably it shouldn't have. And I'm gonna say that everything that happened for a reason. It happened to get me to this moment and this point in my life, and everything that will happen will constantly be that. And so, like, we're at a spiritual war. There is a lot of things that we are doing when we're asleep. And even when I'm not asleep, my spirit can travel. I can send messages to people, and, like, they don't necessarily know it's coming from me. Some of them do, some don't. Just might depend on how familiar it seems. I know when Dante first passed away, and I've had this happen even before he passed away, but literally I would encounter people in public, and that was the reason, like, sometimes I did just want to get out and be around people, because so I could receive a message from him. And but most of the time, like, his spirit was right there with me. I feel like now that I don't need him as much, like, I still could call on him and he'll pop up, but like literally, he ain't just sitting there babysitting me no more. So it's like the training wheels are off. But I think too, I realized, like, all I need is God. All I need is God and myself. One whole. So, but yeah, bird. So literally, I would receive messages and I knew it was him. I would receive random messages from strangers that wasn't. It didn't feel like it was him. It felt like it was someone else. So, like, literally, we all are conduits for each other. And we don't always realize that. We don't always realize that you have to be very careful about what you allow to flow through you. Definitely, you hear me talk about, like, I speak to spirits. And yes, I do. I still do. Mind your business if you want to judge. Because you speaking to them, too. You just, you're unaware. And then some of y'all can't hear shit. Can't even hear yourself. So, like, literally leave me the fuck. And yes, I spiral out of control. You have to learn how to literally basically, like, take care of yourself and take care of your gifts. Literally, you have to learn how to manage your gifts. And so yeah, I have spiraled out of control from allowing too many entities to have access to me. And so literally, but I'm a beast, so I don't give a fucking. God is all. So, like, literally, I was supposed to go through everything I went through, and I am. I'm having a season of being apologetic. Not for my core self. Baby, this girl, like, the core, she is. Like, she gonna be who she is. Shit, I'm a thug at heart. It's like, I'm a thug at heart, and I'm not the type of thug that want to continue to poison my community. That's not my mentality. It's restoration, right? It's time to, well, we at war right now, so we doing different shit. It's not time to keep doing the same shit over and over again. That served its purpose as well. And if you really from the streets, then you know why things had to go the way it had to go. But literally, that shit over with. There's too many avenues and too many different ways for you to have a come up than off your own people. So birdies. So yeah, being in my feminine energy has been a big blessing. I really enjoy it's like I still am doing, but it is in a different way, and it's a way that actually aligns with me. I feel like every word that I write, when I write, that shit is powerful to me. I don't give a fuck what other people think. I don't write in mind of an audience. I write from my heart, my soul, and my spirit. And that's power. It's power in that pen. And that's my sword. That's my sword, is my pen. Literally. And whether I write it or not, you can't censor or silence someone or any of us that God has chosen. Our thoughts alone are like the mycelium in the fucking forest. Literally, our thoughts is the internet, is the stream of ideas and consciousness. That is the ethers. Our thoughts alone literally are shared. Yes, we do have private thoughts if you know how to go into that type of mode, but you also have a stream of consciousness that is shared amongst us all, which is our God consciousness. You either tapped in or you ain't tapped in, and you got other people tapped in on God consciousness on different frequencies and wavelengths. It's levels to everything. And so, like, literally, you still could never silence the collective whole. Even if you take out the different vessels, like, you literally, the message still will be there. The message still gonna be there. And so when I first started to realize, like, what the feminine energy is, the feminine energy isn't opposite of masculine energy in the sense of it doesn't do the same thing. It is opposite of masculine energy in how it goes about it. And so, like, masculine energy for love is very action based. Masculine energy wants to show. Masculine energy, and that's when it's not toxic, and you can have toxic feminine energy and you got toxic masculine energy. And I ain't talking about that white man psychology shit. I am literally just saying that you can literally have masculine energy that is warped or skewed in its views, and how it goes about shit. Like, you could love someone and try to force or possess or control them. That is toxic masculinity. Literally, a balanced masculine would literally know that they shouldn't be forcing anything. And that doesn't talk about gender. It talks about when you're tapping into the energy and how you're going to go about things. I operated out of a lot of toxic feminine and toxic masculine energy because I did not grow up with, nor in my genetic coding, know anything different. So, like, literally, you know, life has shaped and molded me, and thank God it has brought me to a point where, like, I got to realize, like, I realized when I was young, shit won't right, period, point blank. But I was always in the same environments, and it's hard to change in those same environments. It's not impossible, but it is harder. It is a way harder task to change when your environment is still the same. One of the things, though, a lot of people will try to do when their environment sucks is they will try to run away and move and go to a different state or a different household or a different community. And all I can tell you is you take you with you. You take you with you. You take you with you. So if you got work to do because you've been in those environments, because genetically you have been passed on, you know, some traits. You got work to do. You got work to do. It ain't just your environment, it's you too. So I had work to do on all ends of the spectrum. I called out other people. I don't call that shit blaming. I call it making people be accountable for their motherfucking actions the same way I'm gonna be accountable for mine. So literally, I'm starting to learn, like, you know, there is balance, and balance looks different for everybody. I have talked about these things in my writings, but my writing, like literally my writing, a lot of the healing work I do is very feminine energy. It is things that you can't it's not tangible. And I think a lot of the masculine stuff is a lot of the tangible things. It's a lot of the tangible things you can see it. And I just feel a balance being restored. This morning I realized, like, another level of comparison of that I fight against myself. So, like, literally, I struggle with consistency. And so literally I might see someone else doing something that I want to, you know, find my perfect. And it's not the perfect, it's just like my perfect balance or my perfect order. And I'll literally I'ma just use an example. I'm gonna be raw and real. So, like, literally with walking, I love walking. And like I said, I be literally resting sometimes. Some days I just don't want to get up. I need to rest. And I be feeling so bad and I beat myself up. I might compare and be like, well, this person is doing, you know, such and such, and I should be able to do it too. And it's like, that person ain't you. That person ain't doing what you got. They ain't dealing with what you got going on. They don't have the life you got. Like, literally, that's why we shouldn't compare. And it pops up in so many different ways. I even told you, like, waking up, my sleep schedule. Like, they always have sayings like the early bird gets the worm. So, like, literally that always made me feel like, you know, I ain't gonna get the worm, because I don't like always, you know, I'm not in the traditional sense like that. And so literally, yeah, I can't even, when it comes to clocking into a job, it don't matter what shift you put me on. After about 2 years, I'm not gonna really want to be in that job. I'm gonna grow ick for it for some reason. And I think it's because, like, my vessel is a free spirit, and it's not only is my vessel, my soul and my spirit is free. And literally, I think when I'm, like, shackled into something, not necessarily the whole concept. So, like, I'm a teacher at heart. I'm an artist at heart, and I love all these different things. I'm at heart these different things. However, if it shows up the same every fucking day, I need variety. I need something new. I don't like having the same thing every single day. As far as my job. Now, there is a lot of other things where I can eat the same piece of cake every single day. But, like, when it comes to my job, like, that shit just gets, it, like, I'll get the ick if we don't have variety in that job. But I think that's why I liked my old job. Not the part of it that I didn't like, being stuck in the office and dealing with those people. But, like, I like the part of my job where we could go to the museum. We could take the kids to the museum. And they're not kids, but students, because these was college students. So we could take them to museum trips, and we could go around this city. It gave variety. And it gave experience. Like, so no, even if I went to that museum last semester, like this semester I'm going with a new group of kids, it's a different experience. It's also different exhibits there. So like literally, even though I had a mundane part of my job where I'm sitting here meeting every day, you know, with the same, it would be different students or whatever like that, but it still was mundane in the fact that that's what I was doing. We did have some parts that literally allowed for us to have excitement and new things for it. And the students would come up with these ideas. Like we would have spoken words. Like the students came up with this idea, a book club. The students would come up with this idea. So like each semester, yes, we did the book club. I did the book club with the students, but we had a different book to read. So there was variety in there, even though the job was the same job. So I love that job. That job was my favorite job I've ever had. Like that was my favorite career job I ever fucking had. And that's when I worked for Pathways. All the other ones, systematically they sucked. Systematically they sucked. Definitely need a facelift. And I would say even deeper than that. Let's go deep. Teaching, that system is poison, not only to the adults who enter it, that come in, that want to teach, but also to the students, to the admin. It goes all the way from the top to the bottom. And I worry more about the children than I do anybody, because Lord, is it a trap? It is a trap. And if you don't have good teachers in that system, God help you. So like literally, I am thankful for I don't know what you doing, but you better slow it the fuck down. I am thankful for I'm thankful for the experiences I had in life. And I'm finally starting to be grateful for how I use feminine energy. Prayer is feminine energy. Prayer. Having faith, that is feminine energy. The workings you do after you pray, maybe once you get the opportunity that you prayed for, the work that you put in there, that's masculine energy. There is, I talked about, like, I ain't gonna even get into that today. But like, there's a lot of things that I've had to be real with myself. Oh my gosh, like I went on a walk the other day, and literally, so like I'm still walking and shit like that, but it's like maybe I don't get up early in the morning and walk first thing in the morning, but I still get up and walk. And like the other day I did like 3.5 miles, and so like it was like looking at that, and I'm like, that's good. So I'm learning how to just be, not compare myself to others and just look at my shit. But when I was on my walk the other day, like control came up. When I go on these walks, it allows me to process things. It allows me to clear my head. It allows me to think about the things that I need to work on personally. Control came up, baby. I never knew I was controlling. I did know I was manipulative, but manipulation is a form of control. Manipulation is a form of control. It might be a passive aggressive form of control, and it all depends on how the manipulation shows up, because there is some manipulation that is really aggressive, and then there's other manipulation that is suggestive, and that is the manipulation that I will begin to operate out of, and then it can progress to aggressive. And so like literally these last 2 years, I've been able to look at myself even deeper than what I was when I was in a relationship with Dante. I think when I was in a relationship with Dante, even though I was able to look at myself and know my flaws, I have gotten, because I don't have the distraction of him, I have gotten to really like sit with my flaws on another fucking dimension. Like I said, all this shit has like multi-layers and dimensions to it. So where a lot of times people think that shit is repeating that they're not getting better, and shit is repeating, and it's kind of like one of those tests that like literally that progressively gets harder as you get better. Like, so the more smart it sees that you are, it gets better, because life doesn't want performance from you, for real. Like, if you really want to win in life, it's not about performance. And I think that's what we're taught in our school systems, performance-based learning. Like, you have to get these grades, like you need A's across the board. That is performance-based learning. It is not learning to see if you really know what the fuck you know. A straight A student can be given a critical thinking test, and that motherfucker will be dumb as a bitch. Like, they'll be dumb as a bitch because you didn't teach them critical thinking. You didn't teach them how to pivot. You didn't teach them how to think critically. Our shit is performance based. So literally, grades are performance based. Teaching to a test is performance based learning. Real learning comes in when you know what you know, plus you know how to apply that shit. And then it kicks up a notch. Okay, you know how to apply that shit on this level, but what about this situation? What about this scenario? You want to be the best. Let's see how best you are. Like, and so like literally, I kept feeling like I'm stuck in these loops. And it's like, no, sweetheart. Like, God wants you to know what you know on all levels, on many levels. Even you. Since I was a kid, like, baby, I like to master like what I'm doing. And don't let that shit be easy. I don't want it. I don't even want that shit. Like, oh, this too easy. I'm bored. Literally, as a fucking small child, this puzzle is too easy. I'm bored. And so now I'm learning how to literally master myself. And I never had the opportunity to really focus on myself. And I wouldn't say I didn't have the opportunity. I didn't have the knowing. I didn't have the knowing of how to do that, what they look like, any of that. I talk about that in my excerpt. Like, you can't know what you know if you don't know it. And that's the point of life. That's the point of life. A lot of times we get embarrassed from being wrong that we won't even try. Or we'll stop trying because we was wrong. And I'm guilty of it. However, the only reason I was able to be what I was when I was in school, like, I put forth no fucking effort when I was in regular school. When I got to college, I did the same shit, and then I had wake-up calls. I had my sister I had first my friend who had died. My friend died. That was like a big reality check. And then I got pregnant, and that was like the ultimate reality check. And then my sister died, and that just solidified everything. And it was just like, you only get one life. You take this shit serious. And that's when I went into beast mode. I was just like, if I'm gonna do school, I want to do school. Alright, I'm gonna pick this career. This is one of the paths that, like, literally I always had, with me. My first choice was to be a doctor. But, teaching was always one that I had in the back pocket. So I literally, rearranged some things. And then I said, well, you know what? Took one class of religious studies. It was a spirituality class. And fell in fucking love. And that was really what my passion was. That was the classes I took that I actually enjoyed each semester. Like, I'm about to learn about, myths, deaths, and reality. And, like, now I'm about to learn about, Zen Buddhism. I say it wrong all the time. You just gonna have to excuse me. But, like, now I get to learn about this. I get to learn about this deeper. And so, like, that was really, like, my passion. Religion and spirituality. Just seeing how the world works. Biology was another class topic that, like, literally set the synapses on fire. And both of these things is how you understand the life and the world around you. But in different concepts. And it's funny that I like both. One is very much faith-based. It's not always about what you can prove, and the other one is totally trying to prove it tangibly. So I would like to say that having religion and faith is literally a feminine energy, and science-based learning is literally a more masculine energy. However, if you pay attention to science can prove things that are consistent in nature, but science does not account for the anomalies, and religion does. Religion accounts for the anomalies, and I am an anomaly in life. I am an outlier in life. The shit I've been through, I shouldn't be. I'm an outlier and I'm an anomaly, and a lot of people are outliers and anomalies that been put in these harsh fucking conditions, and literally the conditions were designed for you to fucking fail. Even if you do exist, you exist as a mental slave to this world. And so, like, literally, if you came out of those fucking harsh ass conditions, I don't care if you grew up in the black hood, I don't care if you grew up in the trailer park, I don't care if you grew up in a goddamn household, but there was chaos and fucking dysfunction in it, and your family members played pretend and everything was alright, but y'all niggas was poor mentally. You had a poor mentality. You was passing on generational trauma. I don't give a fuck what your race or your identifies as. Excuse me, your race or your identifies as. And yes, I do shout my own fucking struggle out more. Yes, I am. My people don't get enough attention. So, like, yes, I'm an advocate for the hood. Oh my gosh, the Scooby-Doo truck is back outside. I wish I could go look in it. Oh man, I might stop by and look in it if it ain't too dark outside. That shit sweet. They probably don't want to sell it though. But yeah, like, if you made it out of those situations, like, literally give yourself a pat on the fucking back, because they created those conditions for you not to survive them. Even if you remained alive, you were not meant to survive them with your mind intact, your soul intact, your spirit still, you know, willing to survive. Like, they wanted to harvest your life force energy, and they did not. And so give yourself credit. I don't give a fuck what level you're on. Like, give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. If you still literally here and trying to be the best version of yourself, give yourself credit. I done made a whole bunch of foolish ass mistakes, and yeah, there's parts of me that I'm still working out, like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing, but I'd be damned if I let embarrassment stop me from any fucking thing. Like, literally, I've been embarrassed and humiliated my whole motherfucking life, baby. Like, God gave me my story for a reason. Like, I've been getting prepared for different parts of my life since I was a little kid, nigga. Like, shit, I had embarrassment since I was a little kid that I felt like was gonna kill my ass. Like, shit, ain't shit stopping no show over here until I take my last breath. I will die trying to be who I know I am. Like, literally. But I'ma also live. The dying part just means how passionate I am about it. But I'm also so passionate that I'ma live and I'ma enjoy this shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, I'm gonna work through whatever feelings pop up, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work through that shit and keep it moving. But I think a lot of embarrassment comes from not wanting to be wrong, because we live in a society that tries to make it seem like it's right. And America is like one of the dumbest countries, but we like literally have this societal view of it's about being right, and so much so that people don't want to be wrong. And it's like, and the wrong is where you learn. And the wrong is where you learn. And not everybody ain't meant to do shit publicly and all that shit, but even in their own private lives, they don't want to be wrong. That's why we have a lot of narcissistic behavior. This country was built off of narcissistic white men, period, point blank. And they went around this world conquering the planet. And it's not abnormal that, like, we literally have a society built off of narcissism. It's built off of narcissism. And a lot of us aren't narcissistic completely, but a lot of us have very much narcissistic tendencies. And you gotta work on that shit. It is a part of the human experience to be wrong. You don't come here so that you can know it all. You come here so that you can learn. So that you can get to know. And so that you can get to apply. But if you never get to the point where you can actually say where you wrong at, you can't learn. You ain't learn shit. You was just right. And I wish we would stop rewarding people based off of dumb ideologies. Like, literally, if we're gonna award people off of their intelligence and them doing what's right in society, like, let's literally have a metric that is healthy, and let's have conversations about how wrong these people were to get to the point that they are at. How many times did they fail? How many times did they make missteps, which we call mistakes? How many times did they get back up and try again? A lot of these the youth have so much pressure on them about being perfect and being right. And their parents and their elders are hiding from them that literally dumb motherfuckers weren't right. Dumb motherfuckers was wrong. A lot of y'all will literally shame and shun your kids for the same shit that you fucked up on as an adult. I mean, as a youth yourself. Not realizing, like, nigga, it's repeating because you ain't came to terms with it. So now it's repeating with your child, hoping that your child get the shit right. Hoping your child get the shit right, but you ashamed and shun them and oppress them so fucking bad that you don't even let them get it right. They turn out and feel defeated just like you did and live in a fantasy land that they are right, that they're living right. And the whole time they were supposed to go through that situation and break the cycle. They were supposed to go through that situation and break the cycle, and you could have literally helped them break the cycle by telling them where the fuck you went wrong. Telling them how wrong you did the shit. But a lot of people are hide and cover underneath perfection and yes, I found salvation and all this shit. And it's just like, it's sad because the youth is watching this shit, and y'all, they realize they're smart. They realize, like, nigga, y'all not perfect. Something wrong with y'all. Something wrong with you. And I'm gonna rebel so hard that even if you're telling them the right fucking thing, they can't hear you because you're fake. You're fake. You're not keeping it real with your kids or the kids, period. You're not keeping it real with them. So, like, literally, they sense it. They smell it, and they gonna rebel against what is right just because you sitting up there on a high horse instead of coming down and being right there with them. Like, shit, I used to do this too, and this is what happened to me when I was doing it. This is how my mother and my father made me feel when they found out I was doing da 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 that I don't want you to do. You know, like, be real with your children. Your children hear you. When you be on that fake shit and, oh, I would never do this, and the whole time your ass did that shit and more, and you made it out alive, but you ain't sane. I don't know, this shit went all over the place, but literally, I don't know, I'm always keeping real with man. I'm still working on my parenting, not being controlling, to the point of, like, manipulation. Figuring out, that's one of the biggest ones. Growing up in a black household, I grew up in, because my parents were, like, literally a generation away from slavery. Like, they literally grew up with Jim Crow, so it's segregation. So, like, literally, I had a lot of the slave survival skills in my household, and a lot of it came with control that was fucking firm, aggressive, and abusive. It's me, Unapologetically T. I'll have to edit the first 7 minutes because I wasn't talking. I just started the video, and I literally wasn't talking to y'all for 7 whole minutes. I was in deep thought and driving. So literally, I decided to come back and let whatever flows flow. One of the things I will say is these last 2 years coming out doing these videos, I have made it perfectly clear it was not what I had planned for my own self. Like, I like being to my fucking self. So much so that I've had to, it's not even so much so, but it's so much so that like I'm learning even now with doing these videos, like it's just like certain shit I just want to keep to myself, and that's okay. It's called boundaries, and there's certain stuff that I will be sharing, and so finding the balance there too. But I want to say, like, everything that I believed in, like when I was talking to y'all about spirits and possession and all that shit, I still believe in that shit. Like, literally, not even just believe, I know it exists. I've seen too much shit. I have experienced too much shit to not know. It's been with me since childhood, and we're definitely dealing with more than meets the eye, and so you definitely got to be on your P's and your Q's, and yeah, you definitely got to. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and you gotta. I know that basically trust God. Trust God and yourself. You ain't got no money in the 3D to trust. Trust God and yourself. This is a material realm. We are spiritual beings living a human experience, and literally, this is all matter. Everything we see is matter. It's matter. Matter, material. All stemming from the same root word. Matter, material. Matter, mass. Something that holds weight. So literally, like, all these things that we can see, touch, feel, is matter, is materials. However, you do have a soul and a spirit that you must nourish and take care of. There is other things that literally, we're on a fucking floating rock. I get tired of saying that. Like, we're on a floating rock in outer fucking space. And for us to really think that, like, we're not magical, we're not, like, we're just not, we're just mediocre. And I think some of us are, right? I really think some of us are. We have to accept people where they're at. Like, I think some people really are just fucking mediocre, and like, it's not your place to try to make them not mediocre. It's your place to accept them and love them where they are. And like, but for those of us who are magical and whimsy and like really know what we know, and we see certain things that everybody else can't see, like, I really pray for us that we be so solid in our faith, and that we create safe spaces among ourselves as individuals and also as communities, so that we can come together and process what the fuck is going on around us, because a lot of us are meant to see things differently, and if you are one of these people who are, you are a seer, you hear things that other people don't hear, you feel things that other people can't feel, or you can't explain why you're feeling them, shit, you can even have impeccable taste, Like, literally. And there's so many other senses out there that they don't teach us about. Like, they only teach us about the 5 senses. But you got telepathy. You have telekinesis where people can move things with their mind. And, like, literally, shit, being able to manifest what you see, what you vision, that should be some type of sense. Like, it goes in the family of touch. Like, you're able to create. It's creation. Like, that is a magical gift. For you to be able to have a fucking vision and bring it to the material realm, that is a gift. That is a superpower. Love is not seen as a superpower. It is a gift. It is a superpower. Literally, love is God and God is love. You are love. You don't have to seek love outside of yourself. It's good to receive love outside of yourself sometimes, but, like, you are the love. Pour into you. And I'm learning that. I'm not coming from a place of I got this figured out. You got shit figured out. Shit. I go day by day. I take it a day at a fucking time. Because in all actuality, I am a junkie. It ain't from substances, but it's damn sure from seeking out attention and love from other people and other things, and thinking that other things gonna make me feel better. Yeah, I suffer with that affliction. Distractions. Like, I love a good distraction. Like, so I'm not coming here to preach. I'm coming here hopefully to let you know you're not alone, and to let you know that, like, we all gonna figure this shit out. We all gonna figure it out, and you ain't gotta be perfect or have it all the way figured out to be used by God. So literally, like, that's one thing that has been inherently clear. God uses those who have literally been through the worst situations, because the whole point is to let the other people that's going through it know that, like, literally, you know, you're gonna be alright. You're gonna find your way through. Shit, if they can do it, you can do it. How God gonna use somebody that don't know nothing about what the struggle is that you're going through? How can they use them? I mean, everybody can be utilized, but I'm just saying, for those who are struggling. It's not that somebody can't tell you, you know, what to do, but, like, it's like, alright, if I was a drug addict, I would not want someone who wasn't a drug addict to be my counselor. I need a recovering or a recovered drug addict to be my counselor. I don't need Sarah, who never experienced what it is to have drugs hijack your brain and make you more susceptible to doing things that you probably never would have thought about doing. But because you want to have that feeling, like, literally, you're out here wilding, I don't need Sarah, who never experienced that, to be my counselor. It's like if my parents went through a divorce. I don't need a person who never experienced divorce to give me advice. It doesn't mean that a person that hasn't can't give me a few words of encouragement or direction in that field, resources in that field. But I can't have a heart-to-heart and a connection with you to have an understanding of what I'm going through or what I've been through. And even still, when you do share the same experience, it's still not the same exact effect. So, like, I really don't want nobody that don't know what I'm going through or what we have been through, like, literally talking to me. Like, I would rather someone who has literally been through that shit and understand what I am facing to give advice, to share their stories. Because a lot of times it just takes somebody sharing their stories for you to feel what you need to feel, and get what you need to get out of that, to carry on your story, to continue through your story. So literally, that's really all that people be needing. Most times people don't even really need advice. They need to know that they ain't alone. They need to know that they're not the only one that's going through that shit, or they've been through that shit. They need to see that people made it out of that shit. That's why I said in my last video, a lot of we award those who are successful, but we shun their success stories. We don't want the nitty-gritty, the raw of their success stories. And we got to change that narrative and that script, because there's a lot of youth that are literally growing up with this idea that they have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to make it. Matter of fact, I would say you'd have to be like, literally, all you have to do is want it. That's really it. Like, all you have to do is want what you want. And if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. All you have to do is want it. Show up every day. Show up every day. You will get what you want. And now whether what you want is what's best for you is the thing you got to look at. Is what I want best for me. And so that's the thing you have to look at. But yeah, a lot of us are not being vulnerable with the youth about having what society calls a nervous breakdown. That should just be spiritual awakenings for me. Spiritual fucking awakenings. Like, literally, you have outgrown, or either you are literally trying to break through some shit. Like, you have outgrown some understanding, some ways, and literally you are metamorphosing, you are changing into something else. Now, everybody who is experiencing spiritual awakenings, or what they call nervous breakdowns, I call them nervous breakthroughs. And even if you want to look at it as a breakdown, you're breaking down to be built back up, baby. Like, literally, you're not sharing that with your family members and the kids in the family. They're going to go through these different processes. But if you're not explaining to them that this shit gonna happen, they call it midlife crisis when you get into your 50s. You having a midlife? No, nigga, you are going through a change. It's a change of life, and they do call it a change of life. But you're not sitting here and explaining this shit. And you go through these different changes way before you get in your motherfucking 50s. It's just that when, and back in the day, when you would get to that point in your 50s, it's usually that, like, literally, you done lived your life and people had sympathy. Oh, you were a teenager. Teenagers gonna be teenagers. You're going through changes, nigga. Like, when you are a teenager, you are going through a metamorphosis. Like, all these different developments and growth are metamorphoses and changes. And you're supposed to go through it. It's called evolving, growing, and changing. Like, but we're not talking about it. It's like once you get into that adulthood, there is pure neglect and understanding for yourself. It's like you should just have this shit figured out, and it's like this your first experience. And even if it's not your first experience and you reincarnated here, most of the time when you reincarnate here, you don't remember what you need to remember to be successful. You relearning where you left off because you didn't master it then. So, like, literally, you came back. And maybe some people come back too because they need to come back. They gotta finish out some shit. It might not even be that they ain't master some shit. They gotta finish out some shit. So literally, like, we don't have no compassion for that in-between age. From once teenage is over and you get to this, like, teenage to, like, your 50s, there is no compassions and all that shit for you. Like, there's no fun words for that shit. They got menopause for when you get to your 50s, your 60s. They got change of life. They got all of these words for that, but they don't have no words for the in-between. And it's like you going through changes. And I don't give a fuck. I showed you what it looked like while I was going through my changes, my rebirth. It looked ugly. It's wild. And that's my personality. That's my personality type. It's wild. I've been going through that shit since I was a kid by my fucking self. I ain't had nobody to talk to. I ain't had nobody to fucking talk to, and I still had to live life. I still had to go to school every day, go to work. I still had to be sociable. I had to still put on this face while I'm going through what I showed you visibly these last 2 years. I'm going through all this grief, this death, this rebirth, like literally spirit attachments and trying to figure out who's who and all that shit. Like, I'm going through that as a child. But it was like going through it now again as an adult. Like, you can't unsee what you already know. You can't unsee that shit. So, like, literally, when I was a kid, I just brushed that shit off. Like, bro, you crazy, or you saying shit, or like, nah. It's like, nah, I'm not brushing that shit off. I am who I am. And either you're gonna accept the crazy, and I'm not talking about the crazy parts that was unacceptable. The stuff that was unacceptable, I have to work on. I'm taking accountability. I gotta work on that shit. I'm talking about the things, like, I do hear people, like, I don't want to be around people that literally gonna deny my reality. Like, I want to be around somebody that's gonna be like, well, what the fuck did you hear, ma'am? Like, what did they say? And I'm not saying feed into my delusions, but I'm saying, like, don't try to deny my reality, motherfucker. Like, because I'm not gonna try to deny yours. And so, like, literally, I'm learning being solid in myself. If this my reality, this my reality. And I can't force my reality on nobody else. I can't control nobody else. All I can do is be solid in myself. And that's all I give a fuck about. Half these people in this world, I would say more than half of them, don't even know who they are at their core. And I was one of them. And I'm still learning who I am. So, like, literally, don't be ashamed of yourself. If you got some ugly shit coming out of you while you're expressing truths and shit, sit with that shit and work on it. You're gonna be wrong in life. That is the purpose of carnating here. Like, you're here to learn. You're at school. Not that bullshit indoctrination shit that we gotta sit down, be quiet, and this is what it is, and this is how it is, and this is how it's gonna be. Like, no. You're in life school when you carnate the earth. And life is gonna be what you make it. And I'm learning that I need to heal. I need to heal a lot of shit. And I'm also learning that I don't have to be perfectly healed for shit to come to me, for me to have opportunities. But I do know that I need to be in a healthy state of mind and a healthy sense of self before I try to go out there and mingle with everybody else. Because there's some fucked up shit out here. There's some fucked up shit out here. Some fucked up shit going on. We are at war. And people is, like, literally priding and valuing themselves over how big their house is. How sweet their car is. How sweet their shoes is. How much they spend on this. And it's just like, we at motherfucking war. If your ass ain't built a community, I don't really care. Like, if you got all that money and you ain't built a community, I don't care. If you got all that money and you ain't gave back to your community that you came from, or communities that's like the communities you came from, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're whack, you're lame, and we need to normalize what's cool and what's not. I'm not saying that you can't like luxury things. Yes, do you. If you've made it to a point in life where you can afford luxury things, do you. But when you walk around and you pride yourself and you that's your chip, that's your one up on another nigga, nah, you whacked at me. And that's not, like I said once again, I'm not saying that a nigga that made it to his top or her top can't sit down and be happy for what they got. Please be happy for what you got, because for too many years they have tried to take shit from us. Be happy for what you got, but don't pride yourself in what you got. Don't pride yourself in what you got. Because these motherfuckers looking at you that want to get to their top and to be successful with whatever they think success is. And a lot of you niggas is pushing materialism. A lot of you niggas is not teaching us about financial literacy. There are some, and I appreciate y'all, but, like, let's stop doing that. Let's stop doing that to each other. Definitely if you public facing, like, motherfuckers is at the bottom looking at you. You are literally, whether you want to be it or not, like, you literally are what someone at the bottom is looking at, and not all, because some of them have brains of their own, but like some of them that need leadership and guidance until they can become their own thinkers, like literally are looking at you like you are what they should strive to be. And if all you pushing is materialism, then all you doing is setting your culture back and your people back, you doing the white man's work for them. You doing the white man's work for them. So literally, like, we need to be mindful. And what narratives we push. Like I said, I'm not here to tell nobody that they can't brag about, and I'm not saying bragging, because like literally motherfuckers will be like, oh, niggas bragging. Like, bitch, you're a hater. You're a hater. A nigga should be happy for what they got without another nigga trying to take it, without another nigga being jealous. Like, a nigga should be able to be happy about what they got. Now, if a nigga trying to rub it in, like what I'm trying to talk about, like a nigga trying to rub it in to make another nigga feel down on his luck or less than, that's when I can't fuck with it. You whack. I can't fuck with it. Half the labels that literally y'all niggas promote that do got money, like literally don't give a fuck about your people, and they stole your people's designs. Cause literally those designs and shit are like, they're ancient. They're ancient. They're profiting off your people's designs. And I just look at like certain brands as like, it's the same shit as like when they branded us as slaves. You walking around branded, my nigga. You ain't even rocking the shit from your tribes that like literally the people that literally is at the bottom, that's actually designing clothes and high fashion. Now I will say this, people that do have like, you know, hoodies and t-shirt businesses, that is not a label. You are literally pressing a print and stuff like that. I would literally say, I am speaking to the audience who, there are actually black designers and down-to-earth designers who do not have the same notoriety as those name brands and labels, and they actually look sweeter and better. But a nigga won't wear it because they're a label junkie. They still, you know, branded by their slave masters or the slave masters' descendants. So literally, and even if the label ain't come from a slave master descendants, it's still operating under the same guise. It's still operating under the same guise. But yeah, I'm gonna believe in what I want to believe in. I'm gonna know what I want to know. I'm not here to change nobody else's opinion. I'm not here to, and I said that from the very beginning, I'm not here to influence anybody. I solely make my content to reach those who it actually does resonate with. If it don't resonate with you, you don't have to dislike me, you don't have to hate me. If you want to, that's on you. But like, you don't have to. You can just turn the TV off. Literally, you can unsubscribe. You can do so many things. You can hit not interested when my content pops up. There's so many things you can do. But like literally, this content is made for those who it resonates with. Like I'm not here to create people who blindly follow. Like, I'm here to wake people up that you're your own leader. You're your own sovereign person. Literally. Like, I prayed for times like this. I prayed for times like this. And sometimes I get in my own head and it's like, well, what can I do better? What can I do better? And it's like I have to sometimes slow it the fuck down and realize, like, you're in your dream now. You're in your dream now. I used to remember wanting to throw the fucking alarm clock like the nigga off Bad Santa. Like, just beat the bitch up. And it's like, now I don't even live with an alarm clock. I do some days have to cut the alarm clock on, but most days I don't live with alarm clocks. My body can wake itself. And I told you I have to, like, literally be okay with that some days. That, like, some days literally I'm not on this rigid ass, strict ass schedule. It's what I need for me. And I literally have to get used to that concept. I shouldn't have to get used to that concept. The motherfuckers that created this world, this society that we're living in, they created it so that there is people at the bottom and they get to be at the top. And literally, you don't need them. They need you. The moment that the mass majority realize that, everything gonna change. Even if we don't get to a point where the mass majority realize that they are the ones who literally hold the power, everything's still gonna change. It's a done deal. Like, it's a done deal. It is a done fucking deal. And this shit ain't gonna keep going that way. Like, fuck that people thought. You thought like you was just gonna keep doing this shit generation after generation and you weren't gonna meet your motherfucking match. They thought they was just gonna keep doing it over and over and over again. Like, nigga, our ancestors was building us up to this point. That's why I'm not holding no grudges. I still had to get my shit out. I had to get all my complaints and my grievances, but our ancestors literally motherfucking relay raced us to this point. My ancestors weren't weak to endure that shit that we had to endure. My ancestors weren't weak at all. Even the most weakest link, the most snitches ass bitch in the goddamn camp, like, literally, we still weren't weak. We shouldn't have never been put in those conditions to have to even fucking know how we gonna be and how we gonna act. That's why I don't be judging, because you don't never know who the fuck you'll be in certain conditions. You don't know. You don't know till you there. That's why I try to always watch my mouth. It don't mean that it don't happen sometimes, but I try to watch my mouth when niggas be like, oh, I would've did this. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you would have done until you in it. And maybe that's why you don't have that situation, because God know that you can't handle it. Like, literally, sit your ass down and watch. Observe. Like, some of y'all need to learn to live vicariously through other people and say, oh, this is where they went wrong. So now that I know where they went wrong, if that situation do come up for me, God, can you have a mental note that I shouldn't do X, Y, and Z? But now we'll get so cocky and confident and overzealous. Like, we'll be like, oh, like, shit, I would have did da-da-da-da-da if it was me. And it's like, you don't know what the fuck you would have did till you in that situation. And I've had to learn that from childhood on up. Like, life is about learning. And I always say when I speak, I'm not speaking from judgment. I am speaking because I have experienced it. A lot of times when you say I would have did this, nigga, you just opened yourself up to you want to experience that shit and watch. Half the people that say I would have did this, and when it's their turn to experience that shit, they fail even more miserably than what they was judging the other person. The other person ain't even failed. They did exactly what the fuck they was supposed to do to learn the lessons they needed to learn. But then you'll get in that bitch and that shit'll break your ass down till you got nothing. And I ain't talking about it was supposed to do that. I mean, this was a punishment for you even parting your lips. This is for punishment. Like, oh, you would have did this. Let's all right, fuck around and find out. Let's see what you would have did. Let's see what you was gonna do. There's a lot of people that judge people that's on drugs. Like, literally, like, bitch, you don't know what it is to be a crackhead. And yes, when I get mad at people, I do call those crackheads, and I'm not taking it the fuck back. I am talking to particular people. I'm not talking to all crackheads. But if you are a crackhead and you cross me, bitch, you're gonna be all the crackheads in the world. But I don't, as a whole, I don't judge, because I don't know what it is to be in it. I've said that in videos. Like, I've had a cigarette addiction. I've had a people addiction. Like, literally, I would be probably the worst crackhead ever. Like, ever. Heroin, like, literally. I don't want to mess with the king, the boy. I don't want to know what it is to wrestle with that beast. And I'm addicted. Like, literally. I don't want to know that. I don't want to. So I try not to judge people, because I don't know what the fuck or who the fuck or how the fuck I would be if I was in that situation. I like to learn by watching. I like to say, oh, okay, I don't want that for me, but like literally, I can't judge you if you did X, Y, and Z while you was under the influence of this. Now, if you fuck with me, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna judge you as an individual, such and such. I really am. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not perfect, and I keep telling y'all that. But one thing I do promise to do is to show up as myself, and it's multiple layers to that. It's multiple layers to that. I'm highly intelligent in certain areas, and I'm very slow in others. I am thuggish in certain areas, and then I am very much not. Like, I am just a whole bunch of different things. A beautiful pie, a beautiful cake. It's a lot of ingredients to make this one thing. So literally. Alright, I got one more stop I'm gonna make, and then I'm gonna head home and cook me something to eat. Alright, so yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll post this video tomorrow, today, tonight. I don't know. It depends. I'm still cleaning up. So I got all the floors. They have been cleaned. Carpet. So I did the carpet cleaning. Oh my gosh, the most disgusting shit I ever seen. Literally. The water. It's like that water was crazy. And then, and it's like I'm not judging nobody. Like literally, that's another thing that people don't realize. Like, when people are struggling with depression, and I call it these spiritual STDs, like like spiritual demons. So when people are struggling with those things, they battling their own demons. Like literally, one of the things to go, and that's usually when we can physically see that something is wrong, is when your physical hygiene slips. And even still, just because you see it, you can see it, and it can make you beat yourself up even worse. It can make you, it could just make you be in a further hole, because now you see like, oh, I didn't let this, it's physically showing that I'm slipping. And so it really can be bad. And so like people can have like very unkept house. I have seen people with spiritual demons, and they have the neatest fucking house in the world, but they are the nastiest person inside. So like, I don't judge people off of that shit. Like, if you're struggling with hoarding, if you're struggling with not cleaning up, like if you're struggling with not washing your ass, like I don't judge you on that, because I done been through some shit, and I'm still, relearning how to take care of myself. And so like, I have all the love, compassion for you. And I just want to say that like, I'm not judging, but that water was nasty as fuck. And I was living like that. I was living with the carpets like that. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was cleaning up this room, was how we have inherited this earth. It's like inheriting this earth. It's such a beautiful place and a beautiful thing. But it's filthy. It's filthy. And if you put the hard work into cleaning this earth up, like literally, you can make it a better place as an individual. It doesn't even take you joining forces and ranks with someone. It takes, as an individual, cleaning up your own world, your physical vessel, and then doing things in the outside to reflect that, like literally helps clean up this place, this earth. And so when I was cleaning this room up, I'm like, I did not cause all this damage, like literally, but I'm cleaning it up anyway. And it's because I'm here, right? So I should make my environment hospitable while I'm here. And so that's the same message I want to share about us in this earth. We might not have done the damage, but it is our responsibility to make this place hospitable for us by any means fucking necessary. And so literally, God has a plan, and you know, shit gonna be ugly before it gets better. But enjoy and embrace the beautiful moments. Give thanks for the beautiful things and the beautiful times. Give thanks for the people in your life that is loving and caring and healthy. And just know that you control your life. And I would just say you don't even control it, but you regulate and manage your life. You do have say in who has access to you. You do have say in how you're going to live your life every day, within the conditions and the means that you have. So like literally, yeah, stay prayed up for sure. And meet yourself with so much love and compassion for where you at. Like the same love you give everybody else and understanding you give everybody else. Like literally start giving that to yourself. I'm learning myself. I'm in this phase of, oh, eureka. Okay, I'm on this level of understanding self-love. Like, oh, the same way I would be with that person if they came to me with the same situation I'm experiencing is the same way I need to be with myself. And so some things we think is so simple of a concept, you know, it all depends on who you are. Like people who were born with self-love, whether it was genetically passed down to them or their environment nurtured it in them, literally looks probably at content like this and like, well, isn't that a given? And it's like, it's a given for you. And it's like some of us were born in a fucking deficit, and I've written about that, and I need to post that right in the night. But anyway, let me get in here and do what I gotta do for myself. And if these groceries prices go up any higher, I'm literally gonna start farming. Because and I really don't know what I'm doing if I start farming, but like literally, God, I can't afford this shit. Oh my God, I can't. It's just like, Lord. What happens when you mess with people's food? I know with me, you can't fuck with my food. Like that's some fighting shit. So I'm just wondering, like, at what point? What else do you need to see? What else do they need to do? But let me get my ass in the store. I really don't want to go. Because that really means I'm going to spend money. And I need to have a game plan. I hate going in the store hungry and unprepared. Like, it works out better if I have a list. And usually I'll tell myself I can only deviate off this list for 5 items. And 5 items only. But now it's like, even with the list, the shit is outrageously expensive. And today, I'm not even shopping for a whole week. I'm just gonna do like today because that's all my brain can process for it is to get through today. Alright, so let me cut this camera off and think to myself what I actually want to get.